Shoprite needs no introduction. It is a massive company with massive operations. Today we'll be looking at some of the share price facts. We'll be looking at some of their core operations. We'll look at some of their financials, some of the guidance, some of the news, some of the innovation, and finally my final opinion. So a mouthful in a short period of time. So I'll keep this short as possible and hope you get some value from this. Please consider liking and subscribing. It really goes a long way. My name is Hugo from Milan and I work at FinMeUp. Thanks for being part of the FinMeUp community. We've got a lot of exciting things coming, so stay tuned. So let's get into it. First of all, Shoprite's share price is currently around 173 Rand by the time I'm recording this. It is actually 58% up from its 50-week low, so it had a nice run the past few months and weeks. The PE is currently around 27, and the dividend yield is currently around 2.4%, so they are paying some dividends. And finally, the market cap is around 100 billion Rand, so it's not a small company in South Africa. They are big, and we've seen a nice share price run. This is probably because, there's been a lot of good news regarding Shoprite as well. But I mean, Shoprite it was quite an up and down roller coaster right the past few years. Then it goes up, then it goes down, then up, then down. But I mean, this is for long-term shareholders if you are invested in Shoprite. So let's get into their financials first. If we look at the revenue for the year on year, what they recently announced is that the Shoprite Group revenue grew by more than 8%. And that's awesome considering all the lockdowns and everything that happened with all their operations across Africa. That is really good. More than 8% growth for a massive company. First of all, if we look at their South African operations, it is looking really, really healthy. If we look at their non-South African operations, it's looking bad. The non-South African operations actually decreased by around 7.5%, where the South African operations all grew. So that is part of what they are busy with now. They are actually withdrawing from their African operations. Not all of them, but most of them, or a lot of them. For example, Shoprite announced that they are withdrawing from Uganda and Madagascar, and that is just adding to the growing list of their African departures, and they are focusing on where they are actually making money, for example, South Africa. Now, the fastest growth segment of Shoprite is the furniture, and the furniture segment grew by around 24.6% year on year, and that includes OK Furniture and House and Home. Furniture is a great industry to be in. I mean, there's healthy margins. But first of all, Shoprite sells to what we need. We can't live without a type of Shoprite. They sell food. We all need to eat. They sell furniture. There's always going to be a demand for furniture. And everything that they sell, there's a demand for. I mean, you have to buy bread somewhere. And a lot of people shop at Shoprite or at Checkers. So they are in an industry that there will always be a demand for it. It will all depend on who has the biggest market share. And I think Shoprite are doing things that are actually doing that. So looking at their guidance, we'll only look at their basic earnings per share. So their basic earnings per share, and this includes the discontinued operations, is between 39.6% and just below 50%. So that's quite good for the basic earnings per share. But for the continuing operations, the basic earnings per share is 17 to 27%. So, it is looking good. The revenues are growing. The earnings per shares are growing. It's looking good. So now to the news, and this is really what excites me. Is, first of all, so they announced that they are buying subsidiaries from Massmart. So Massmart has its challenges as well. So they are buying the following businesses: the Cambridge Food Business, the Fruit Spot Business and Mass Fresh, 12 Mass Cash and Carry stores, and this is probably part of their strategy to expand and grow their offerings to their existing customers as well as potential future customers and growing their market share. Then another very exciting announcement, and this is just, I really love this because I'm a big fan of innovation, and you don't usually see a lot of innovation from these big companies like Shoprite or these physical retailers. And they launched Shoprite X, which is basically like a little version of Amazon Go. Just go Google Shoprite X. It is awesome. It is innovative, and it is new, especially in South Africa. There's with any innovation, there's going to be a lot of challenges, but just the fact that they are innovating and looking to grow their business and their offerings, it really excites me. Just go Google Shoprite X announcement. It's basically like this cashless store, similar to Amazon Go. And then finally, their online business is actually also growing. So their delivery business with the 66 app, and I know a lot of people that use it, and the amount of customer satisfaction and just the value offering in that is awesome. It's not something we see in South Africa or in Africa that much. So this is an amazing African play for the retailer sector, and something that everybody needs. We need food, we need to buy furniture if we want to build a house or whatever, and they are there, and they are growing their innovation and their business. And I actually had a conversation this past weekend with someone that really knows the retail industry really in and out. And his words were, he actually said that he thinks Shoprite is the best physical retailer, not in Africa, but in the world. In the entire world, he thinks they are the best retailer. So they've got the amazing businesses, the entire ecosystem that they have. They've got the innovation. They are making big moves. They are growing their revenue. They are withdrawing from where they are not making money. So getting to my final opinion and whether I'll be investing or whether I'm not invested is actually I have not bought Shoprite shares yet. I've been on the sidelines and I've been liking Shoprite a lot. So I bought a few months back a little bit, but I just sold because I wanted to buy more of my other shares. But, really looking at all these news and everything that's going on, I am going to open a Shoprite position in my investment portfolio, my personal investment portfolio. This is not financial advice. This is just what I'm doing with my money. So always do your own due diligence. And let us know what you think of Shoprite. Or first of all, are you a Shoprite customer? So they have Checkers, they've got OK, they've got these various stores. So it's not just Shoprite itself. And then also, will you be investing in Shoprite or not? We'd love to hear what you are doing. Please consider liking and subscribing. Finally, this is for me a long-term investment. I'm opening a position and I'm happy with this. And I personally think that Shoprite is probably my favorite company, large company on the JSE that I'd be buying now. And that is just because, we need to eat. They've got amazing business. And I know, for example, Simon Brown is also a big fan of Shoprite. And he also just says people need to eat. And the best supplier of that, what we need, will probably win the race. So I'm investing in Shoprite for the long term, and I'll be looking to add with any dips if there are, or pullbacks, because they've had a nice run, 58% from the 52-week low. They are paying dividends, so that's a nice passive little income. So overall, I'm happy with Shoprite. I'm going to invest. What will you be doing? Remember, take everything with a pinch of salt, not financial advice. Thanks for being part of the FinMeUp community, and hope you have an awesome day. Cheers.